passion of public speaking. So in order to conquer this fear, he decided he's going to speak back to back. 2 weeks ago, he was here presenting. Today, he's here again, taking action. Toastmaster Ayon, you conquer your fear by speaking, speaking, and speaking. And this evening, you will be doing just that. Ladies and gentlemen, here to present his speech number 5, Toastmaster Ayon.
In most instances, advice and tips are given in things that you should do rather than things that you should never do. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. What I'm about to share with you is from the experiences I gained from my 2 trips to the Blue Mountain Peaks. As I mused retrospectively about the excitements and the challenges I encountered and the things I would have done differently, 3 incidents stood out in my mind. These 3 incidents are related to the clothes, the shoes, and the people who were part of my trip. From this, I will now tell you the 3 things you should never do while hiking in the Blue Mountains. Firstly, never wear close-fitting jeans or pants. On my first trip to the Blue Mountain, I wore a pair of jeans. Now, I don't wear tight clothes, so I just wore a pair of jeans. I didn't consider wearing shorts because I was told it was very cold in the Blue Mountain. All things went well as we crossed the river that runs in the trough before our upward climb started. But before the climb steepened, we stopped at several lusciously loaded mango trees and had our fill of mango fructose. I could feel the energy, the bursting, and I went ahead of the pack. The winding path was like the snake and ladder game, and of course I found most of the ladders and quickly advanced some distance ahead of the others. However, I soon discovered that I was losing momentum. Something was holding me back. My jeans were clinging to my quadriceps like the clutches of a drowning man. I wanted to tear them off and complete the journey in my boxers. However, somehow I made it to Penland Castle, and at the first opportunity, I changed those jeans for a pair of loose nylon shorts. Leaving Penland Castle, I felt like I had left 100 pounds behind. Secondly, never wear a pair of shoes that is too young for your feet. I learned the true meaning of what Ed Bistros, the renowned mountaineer and author, meant when he said, getting to the top is optional, getting down is mandatory. The exciting weekend finished too soon, but not too soon for some of us who didn't carry any sponge to sleep on, but had to make do with mountain currents wrapped in a bed linen. Before dawn, we were descending at unimaginable speeds. By the time we got down to the foot of the mountain range to cross over that river, my toes felt like I had kicked them squarely in a brick wall. The track shoes I wore I thought were a loose stick like my jeans would grow in front of me, but now my toes felt like they had grown at least half an inch more, boring through the fabric of the shoe. This is one occasion I would never tell anybody, wear your size. The next trip, I wore 2 sizes up. Thirdly, never allow a physically unfit friend to accompany you. On my second trip to the Blue Mountain Peaks, we were accompanied by a larger group of friends. Everybody, the mountaineering vibes spread like wildfire, and everybody wanted to take on the challenge. But what many of these people did not know is that for about 3 weeks before the climb, many of us would run for 3 miles up and downhill with weighted backpacks. Each of us was making sure no one would have to tarry or carry any one of us. Among us was a friend whom I would call Violet, who was about 20 years my senior. She was about 5'9". and on the floppy side. About the evening before the climb, David, an experienced climber, one of our experienced climbers, looked at her and said, "So, Sister Violet, have you been doing any exercise?" "Oh, yes," she replied. "I've been doing a little gardening every day." My friend looked to the sky and he said, "God help us." Oh boy. So, I didn't think much about it then. Or I would not have sped ahead of the others like I'd done on the previous trip. The climb started and I shot off like a rocket. Occasionally I wait on the others to catch up, and then I shoot off again. On reaching Penline Castle, I stopped and I waited. And I waited. And I waited. Still no sign of the others. So I turned back. And I met David on the way, loaded like a donkey, with his luggage and Sister Violet's luggage. And he was very happy at me, asking what had happened. So I retraced my step until I found the others with Violet resting. Violet was like a rock doll. She could barely stand up or even make the next step. She was completely exhausted. We were all Christians, and St. Paul told us that in Galatians chapter 6 that we are to bear one another's burden and so fulfill the law. But I had no idea that it would have been so literal. My brother and I, who weighed 130 pounds, took turns carrying the 175 pounds Violet all our back. I remember how my knees felt like rubber with the step I took, hoping that I would not collapse and make matters worse. Sadly, Violet did not make it to the Blue Mountain Peaks that day. She promised sorely the next day that she would come back sometime later and finish the climb. I don't know if she did, but I'm sure she is nearing the summit of another peak by now. If you ever plan to climb the Blue Mountain Peaks, listen up. A word to the wise is sufficient. Paying special attention to the clothes, the shoes, and the physical condition of your teammates is never to be ignored. I hope my experiences will help you to plan your trip well. And as we would say in Jamaica, walk good.
Never